When we last left our X-Men, Magneto had been defeated in the pages of Avengers. It was a sweet crossover. Now let's see what our merry mutants are up to next. Let's check it out. Tommy reads X-Men. Tommy reads X-Men. It's cool. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy back at you again with another Tommy Reads X-Men, the show in which I read each issue of X-Men and give you my own unique take on it. Today, we're looking at X-Men number 46 from July 1968, written by Gary Friedrich with art by Don Heck. This is called The End of the X-Men. Is it? I don't know. Let's check it out. As I stated in the intro, we had just come off a two-part story. I'm going to leave the link to that in the description below for the last issue of Tommy Reads X-Men. And Magneto was defeated by the combined forces of the X-Men and the Avengers. Now, this issue picks up with the X-Men addressing the death of Charles Xavier. Now, Papa Chuck done died a few issues back, but the X-Men are finally visiting his grave because all this Magneto nonsense started during his funeral. The X-Men, mourning Charles's death, are visited by an FBI agent named Duncan. Now, you might remember him, because I didn't, I had to look it up. He was in Cyclops' backup story from a few issues back. He actually has been working with Papa Chuck and the X-Men as their kind of FBI liaison, and he says he needs to talk to the X-Men. Now, they're like, oh, okay, well, let's go back to the mansion, chop it up. And when they get there, they're greeted by a cameo by Foggy Nelson from Daredevil fame of Nelson and Murdoch law firm. Now, he's there to read Papa Chuck's will. And the X-Men are like, oh my gosh, he's got a will? Of course he's got a will. Dude's rich, right? Rich people got wills. Foggy's there, and he tells them basically this. All financial assets go to Scott. The mansion and the school is to be divided up amongst all 5 of the X-Men, his students, and Scott is the trustee for all business that is Charles Xavier. Now, if I'm a kid, or any reader I'm especially a kid, if I'm a kid in 1968, nothing is more exciting than reading a will reading about a guy who died a few issues back. Now, that is the height of excitement. Forget this action, forget this Marvel mutants and, fights and Thor and this and that and Angel and whatever. No, I want to read a courtroom procedure like this is a comic book version of Law and Order. Now, the X-Men casually mention as Foggy's leaving, oh, good luck running for DA. And they put in a little thing like, oh, you could read that in the pages of Daredevil. I ain't. Now, for some reason, even though this was a private, X-Men family matter, the FBI agent got to be there during this whole thing. Like, he was just sitting there like, oh, well, you got the money now. He was there for some weird reason. I didn't get why. And that seems to be a recurring theme to this issue, as you will see. Now, cut to the Juggernaut escaping from his amulet prison that the X-Men and Charles put him back in X-Men number 33. That was 13 issues ago. A whole year plus 1. That's math. A whole year plus 1. And we're supposed to remember that the Juggernaut was locked in the weird amulet that gave him his powers. But he comes out and he's all, hurrah! And he was freed by some secret machine that Papa Chuck had built in the mansion. This mansion has got more secret rooms and Home Alone booby traps than anybody's business. Like, he tricked out this house. The X-Men don't even know. Like, this was a whole secret room they didn't even know about. And a secret machine that he had built in secret. Secrets. Lots and lots of secrets. This is like an episode of Pretty Little Liars or something. Juggernaut's out looking for Charles to get some of that sweet, sweet payback that Papa Chuck done had coming. The X-Men find the Juggernaut, and they're like, what are you doing? What? And then he's like, where's Charles? Where's he? Oh, well, he dead. I don't believe y'all. I do not believe y'all. And then we get the Juggernaut versus the X-Men. As per usual, Hank jumps in, 2 big feet first, and boom, boom, catches the 2-piece, and he's knocked out first. Hank is always the first person knocked out. If it ain't him, it's sometimes Angel, but it's usually Hank. Then Juggernaut starts searching around the mansion, destroying stuff left and right. Runs into the FBI agent Duncan, who's still there. Like, I don't know what he was doing when the X-Men left him, changed it into their costumes. He heard a ruckus, and he's still standing there like, oh, how can I get some of this sweet cheddar that Charles left around? The Juggernaut's like, who are you? He goes, never mind. And he puts the dude through a house. He knocks him right through the wall. Now the X-Men finally get their wits about him and go outside, and they find Juggernaut where? At the grave of his stepbrother, Charles Xavier. Now, is he mourning? Is he shedding a little Juggernaut tear? No. He's like, they weren't lying. But I should be the one to kill Charles. And he got a point. He got a point. Charles has been awful. Read the old issues, go back. Better yet, watch the Tommy Reads X-Men's from the past with the Juggernaut in it. And you'll see Charles was left his brother for dead in a cave. And that's how he got that amulet. Charles took his brother and kidnapped his body after the X-Men beat him. He kidnapped his body, kept him in a coma for months, issues upon issues, just so he could experiment on him. And then when he got out, he's like, well, I don't see why he's so mad. There's a clear definition of a receipt coming. It was what the Juggernaut was going to give to Charles, but no, he was denied that. So the X-Men decide to start fighting with him again because it went so well for them the first time. It never goes well first round for the X-Men. Second round, they usually get a W, kind of. In this case, they were fighting, and Iceman makes a giant ice ball. And he's like, Hank, do your Bob Gibson impression. And as a pitcher, for all y'all who don't know, and Hank's like, I don't know who that is. I'm a Mets fan. No. Hank would not be a Mets fan. He'd be a Yankees guy through and through. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Now, Jean decides to step up to the plate. And she's using some kind of special training that Charles gave her before he croaked. And he's like, uses her mental power to like mentally, literally, they say mentally start stabbing the Juggernaut in the mind. And he's like, only Charles could do that. Is he still around? And Jean's like, nah, son, it's me. I know how to do it now. And you've got to get mine stabbed. The X-Men are fighting the fight. Jean's stabbing him in the mind. And he grabs Angel and he threatens to snap his spine. Now they're like, okay, we give up. Does the Juggernaut get to enjoy his hard-fought W in lieu of cashing in that receipt on Charles? No. Does the X-Men get to take their L gracefully like they should? No. Because what happens is, I'm going to tell you, all right? Because we cool, I'm going to tell you. So what happens is the Juggernaut has Angel. He's about to snap his spine, and then he just straight up disappears. Why? Let's get to the weak-ass explanation. Scott's like, you know what? Of course. Because we didn't treat the Juggernaut with the special thing that we don't mention, because we didn't treat him with some special elixir, him escaping the amulet didn't take permanently. That's why he disappeared. Of course, that has to be it. What? Are you kidding me? Adjust. How could he possibly know that? From seeing that machine that was a secret for like 2 minutes before the Juggernaut knocked him around. You know what I mean? How could he have known that? Shenanigans. That's what I'm calling. Now, who should show up at the end of this battle? The FBI agent again. Now, that dude got knocked through a wall. He should be dead. Is he a mutant? We don't know. But he says, oh, you know, there are going to be fights like this all the time. So really, y'all should break up. Leave the mansion and go live your separate ways, and then we'll contact you in case there's any mutant problem. It's too dangerous without Charles here to hold you down. And the X-Men and Cyclops, who's in charge, is like, oh, well, okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Let's pack our stuff, guys. And they pack their stuff, and they leave. The end of the X-Men was the title. They did not mislead you. End of main story. Question mark? Now, I know you're wondering, what's up with the backup story? We're excited to know what's going on with this boring-ass Iceman story. And I'm going to tell you, this one is called, And Then There Were Two. So there was one and now two, even though Charles, whatever. I'm not a mathematician, as we well know while watching these videos. This one was actually not that bad. So the townsfolk, to recap, are horrible to Bobby because he's a mutant. And Cyclops tried to help him out, and now they're being horrible to both of them. Recap, ended. What ends up happening is the townsfolk are literally going to lynch Cyclops. They're going to hang Cyclops and Bobby, and the sheriff's like, whoa, this is getting out of hand. And then they straight up call him a mutant lover. They're going to hang him too. And like the townsfolk, they look kind of like, they had red hats and whatever. What ends up happening is Papa Chuck's rolling down the street, in the rolls, and he's like, I'm almost there, I'm almost there. And then Cyclops and Bobby break free. He tells them mentally, go to Bobby's house. I'm gonna handle this. They're like, how are you gonna do this? He's like, I'm Papa Chuck, okay? Don't question, just recognize greatness. Thank you, thank you. Get to Bobby's house, and then Charles goes on a mind-wiping spree. He mind-wipes the town. He mind-wipes Bobby's parents and convinces them all, oh, he's just a really smart, gifted kid. He ain't no mutant. He's just going to school because he's hecka smart. And then, despite being, leery of this guy in a costume, and this dude who's talking into his head, Bobby's like, oh, okay, cool. We hypnotized my parents. It's all good with me. Let's go to the school. End of backup story. Let me get you some final thoughts. All right, y'all. This was a 7 out of 10. It was a pretty decent issue. Like, the action was good. Anytime the Juggernaut's in there is a good thing. I like the Juggernaut. He's a good villain / sometimes hero. I think he fights with the team every now and again. Sadly, he did not get his hands on Charles like he should have. Like, Charles needed to get smacked around a little bit. The backup story was not that bad. They were kind of slow. This Iceman one was like really boring, to be honest. But this actually was a pretty action-packed ending. Next issue, we learn more about Iceman's powers, and if it's anything like how Cyclops' powers issue was, it's going to be pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. But we find that out in the next issue of Tommy Reads X-Men. If you like what you see or are mildly entertained, hit that like and subscribe button down here. Hit the bell notification in the corner. I don't know exactly where it's at. And do your boy a solid. Help spread the word about the Tommy Love Stuff channel, YouTube's best kept secret. Got a lot of great things going on in the channel. If you like food reviews, if you like movie reviews, we talk some wrestling, all things pop culture. If you liked the Tommy Reads X-Men, please check our playlist for older issues. If this is your first time watching, thank you for letting me entertain you for a little bit. I appreciate it. If this is your 50th, 60th time watching, I appreciate the support and continue to do so. We'll be back next week with another issue of Tommy Reads X-Men. Later.